Hello there, boxing fans around the world. Welcome to another edition of The Scoop with Champ Ray, who's got a very special series on amateurs who never went pro. And tonight, who are you featuring tonight? Actually, I don't know who you are featuring. Who you got?
How you doing? Today's episode is one of those feel-good stories about a little engine that could. Being in one of the most competitive weight classes, nor sustaining a career-ending injury. Neither one of these scenarios could stop this guy from achieving his goal of being a national champion. My name is Bola Raymond Olubuwale, and this is The Scoop. On October 1st, 1976, in a far, far away land of Mexico, Jonathan Bachner was born. During his high school years, Jonathan participated in 6 different sports and excelled at them. We're talking cross-country running, swimming, freestyle wrestling, water polo, soccer, track and field. And when it comes to track and field, he competed in 3 of the 4 middle distance races in 1,500 meter, 3,000 meter, and 2,000 meter steeplechase. And he has accolades from winning at the city level on all of these. Quintessentially, that's what you call an athlete. That's what you call an athlete. Around the time he was doing all this, and honestly, talk about cooking with gas. Like, this guy had energy for days. Hence, his father in 1991 was a member of the Jewish Community Center of Toronto, and made the suggestion to him that maybe he would be interested in trying boxing because they had a boxing program out of there. Yeah, sure. Gives it a try. 2 years later, September 11th, Jonathan steps into the ring at the legendary Cabbagetown Boxing Club to face off against one Robert LaPlante. Can't really remember his name, but he was out of the Top Glove Boxing Club up in Sudbury. Jonathan was victorious via stoppage in the second round. Way to start off your legacy, my man. With that, his continuation within the sport came sort of easy due to his immediate love affair with her. This was the most enjoyable sport he had ever participated in, he claims. Everything about it resonated with him, from the strategy, chess game of the scenario, plus the mental preparation component, to the ridiculous training scenarios. It all boded amazingly well for him. The conditioning regimen and what have you. Not to mention traveling the world, the friendships and memories was just as gratifying. Now, January 7th, 2006. He remembers it was a Saturday. Like, nice night out. In St. Catharines, Ontario, Jonathan steps into the ring for the 107th time. And after 15 years in a sport he loved, his hand was finally raised at the end as the national champion of Canada. He remembers it like it was yesterday. One of his friends called it 100 plus GST. It didn't come cheap. Jonathan has toured the world and has collected some hardware to boot. 06 dual meet with Italy. He not only won, but won best fighter of the night. 05 and 08 multinational tournaments in Liverpool, England, and St. Catharines, respectively. He took home silver medals in both. And in 09 Francophone Games, he took home a bronze medal. Now, when asked why didn't he try his hand in the professional ranks, his answer surprised me, because some of the years that he was on the national team, we actually trained together under the legendary coach, which I refer to as Papa Adrian Tedorescu at Atlas Boxing Gym in Toronto. His reasoning was because of injuries and age. Okay. He felt making the national team for the first time at 29 and continuing on the team until he's 34 was old for a junior welterweight to begin their professional campaign. But more importantly and more surprisingly, he had sustained 7 right shoulder dislocations over his career, over 9 years, over actually longer than 9 years, because it was actually from before he was even in boxing. It started. Not only did he sustain 7 dislocations, but he also went under the knife twice. One dislocation is a career-ending injury, not to mention competing at the national level. His own belief that he could be a national champion and represent Canada at the international stage is the fire that kept him going. This is an incredible lesson in believing in oneself. He will forever, to me, be the modern day $6 million man. I still can't believe that he actually did that, because he would have no punching power. So he would have nothing to deter. I still can't wrap my head around this. He just was busy. I just thought that he was incredible. He was always in incredible shape, but he found a way to win. Sign of a true champion right there. Life after boxing was pretty much spent with his family and loved ones and work, but he still trained competitors and enthusiasts alike when this pandemic nonsense was not ruining everything in society. A few years ago, he had the pleasure of traveling with the national team to Peru in the Pan American Games. As a coach, Jonathan still currently gives back to the sport via, well, he officiates in the amateur ranks. So, yeah. Jonathan, I ask a lot of former fighters and stuff like that. Going up when we saw a lot, we experienced a lot. And how would you make things better? How would you change the scenario? How would you change the narrative to make things better, to make things easier to succeed? Jonathan's suggestion on how to improve amateur boxing is to improve the financial scenario for the athletes. The more it's more than necessary to rid the, or at least at the very least, decrease the amount of stress load the athlete goes through when it comes to financing, so as they can focus on their training. This, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Even in the pro ranks, I still see this. But for somebody who was carded to go off and say that, yeah, still more needs to be done, it speaks volumes as far as I'm concerned. So at the end of the day, I couldn't agree more. Jonathan Steve Austin Bachner. That's his name from now on. Jonathan Steve Austin Bachner. I think I just dated myself, but that's, well, that's a different story. Anyways, thanks for your contribution to Canadian boxing history, my man. You're a champ. If you like this episode, please smash the like button below and subscribe to the show. I'm your boy Bola, and this is The Scoop.
Thanks very much for giving us the scoop. He's a true gentleman and a great athlete, and has certainly set the bar for amateurs to look up to and say, "Wow, that's something to achieve."
Genuinely,
Really is.
To talk to him, to know him, like he's a special cat. You'd never know. Like sociologically, you'd think outside the ring, if you heard that person is a boxer, well, then all of a sudden some people would actually shiver a little bit. And then if you hear that person's a champion boxer, the image that would be conjured in your head is some beast of a being that's ready to eat children. Jonathan should be selling insurance. There's not a mean bone in his body. He's just not. So yeah, I think I think that's
Is he still coaching?
He very much so. Very much so. He is enjoying a great deal of. He just enjoys the sport, and he's still giving back.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Well, that wraps up another episode of The Scoop with the champ, Bola Ray. And I guess we'll see you tomorrow night with another great story. And let our fans around the world know that if you like it, share it, subscribe to it. Thank you.
Cheers.